Today, White Warriors Speedway and SpeedwayPortal.com bring you Cobra's Garage Mahal's Slide and Ride Best Pairs. Tonight's meeting pitches 6 pairs of riders against each other to fight their way through to the 2 semi-finals and then onwards to the final. Points are scored 4 for first, 3 for second, 1 for third and 0 for fourth. Christina Turnbull is tonight's SCB referee with a finger on the button while we take a break from team racing. This Sunday, the Warriors, they're back as a team travelling to Suffolk to take on the Mildenhall Fen Tigers before returning here to the Andrew Uni Stadium at Smallbrook next Thursday in National League action with the visit of Coventry Storm. We're over at the Isle of Wight for SpeedwayPortal.com. We've got Christina Turnbull, the referee, who's down here this evening. Christina, hello. Good to see you after quite a few years. Tell us, please, how you came about to be a referee.
Well, my parents were big Speedway fans in Glasgow back in the 60s. And obviously, as children, we were dragged along kicking and screaming. And I think if any Speedway supporter will know, once you've got the speed and the smell in your blood, that's it stays with you forever. So I was a supporter until I was about 18, and then I found boys and alcohol. And I disappeared. I moved abroad, and I moved back to Eastbourne in 2000 and went back to Eastbourne Speedway then, and that got me hooked again. And I've tried riding, and I don't make much of a rider. I'm never going to have my own team. So I thought, I wanted to give something back, and I wanted to be involved. So I applied to be a referee in 2001, 2002. And here I am, 11 years down the line, 2005. 2005, I think, yeah. So it's 11 years. This is my 11th season.
You still enjoying it?
It has its moments. Yeah, mostly I enjoy it. Yeah, the speedway I enjoy. The refereeing I enjoy. The politics, I suppose, like any sport, any organisation, we could do without. But yeah.
Do you have a favourite track that you like to visit?
Gosh. Well, do I have a favourite track? No, I'm not going to say that on camera, no, because I wouldn't like to upset somebody. No, but no, I mean, the Speedway family's great. I know you talk about it and it's a bit cliched, but you never go anywhere and get a hard time. You always get a warm welcome. Everybody's friendly, helpful. Everybody just wants to do the best for the sport. Okay,
so a lot of people have got absolutely no idea what you do. We've got the control panel in front of us here. Would you like to show us how it works?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so the one here is quite a simple layout. So we have the 2-minute light, so that'll put the 2-minute light on, and then we've got the siren, which you can hear here and in the pits. So there'll be a flashing light here, and there'll be a flashing light out in the pits, and the siren will be going off on there. So that's when our 2 minutes go on. Then we get to the start. So we have the green light here. So the green light goes on, and then one button, and it puts the tapes up. Okay. And then we try to remember to put that off before the riders come back round. Sometimes it's easy to forget to put it off, especially if you've got a tight first and second bend and you're more interested in watching the racing than watching the green light going off. Then we've got a red stoplight. So we've got 2 buttons here. Our red stoplights always need to have a siren with them. So we hit the red stoplights and we hit the siren at the same time until we're happy that everybody stopped. And then last but not least, we've got the 4 disqualification buttons: red, blue, white and yellow. And hopefully we don't have to use those very often for silly things. And that's it. This is actually the easiest part of the job.
Okay, and obviously you've got a couple of phones as well to the centre green and the pits. Do you use those that much?
Well, hopefully not. Yeah, I don't like to use them. The team managers like to use them. We have to allow access to the team managers and the clerk of the course. Believe it or not, it's at the referee's discretion whether they speak to riders or not. But I always think, as long as they're polite and they're, then I think it's only fair to have them their say. I'm not going to change my mind though, especially not being a woman. I've got no chance.
And what's the biggest meeting that you've actually been involved in refereeing?
Well, I've done the British final here. And obviously I'm an FIM referee as well, so I've done the finals of the under 21s. I've done some GP qualifiers, so just you never know, they might run out of referees and have a GP one day, who knows.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope you get a chance for that. Thank you for your time. We'll get out of your way so that you can get on with tonight's meeting.
Lovely, thanks very much.
And they're going to do battle tonight. We've got from tonight's riders as they come down onto the track. Our individual pairs tonight. Here we go. We'll introduce them as they get near to their motorbikes. Now we'll run down. We have 2 changes to your programme. And those changes will be in your programme where it says 2CD, riding 14 Covec Bull, is now Danyon Hume. You put that in, Danyon Hume is now riding there. 2CD, which will be riding number 4. Danyon Hume, you stand if you want to put that. That's right, Danyon Hume, riding 15 Covec.
The riders taking part in tonight's Slide and Ride Best Pairs meeting. The scoring format is 4 points for a win, 3 points for a second, 2 points for a third, and nothing at all for fourth place. This is sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mahal. For Team Coopes, we see Rob Shuttleworth combining with Kelsey Dugard. Team Covec Bull, we have Lee Smart with Dan Hume. Team Hyphose, Darryl Ritchings and Nick Phillips team up, while Team Warriors we see James Cockle and Tyler Govier. For Team Wessex Marine we have Matt Saul and Connor Coles, and to complete the lineup tonight we have Team Sheplock, which is Ben Morley and George Piper. Riders coming up to tapes for heat number 1. Kindly sponsored by Jason Waring. Riding in yellow is Dan Hume, his partner is in white Lee Smart, in blue is Kelsey Dugard, and in red is Rob Shuttleworth. The Slide and Ride Best Pairs, it is down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium, heat number 1 about to get underway. Getting a jump then on the outside there, Dan Hume. Second place is Rob Shuttleworth and his team partner in this one is Kelsey Dugard. Down goes the rider in white Lee Smart on turn number 3. Red flags are out. Heat number 1 coming to a stop. So we go back and have a look at the replay then there of Lee Smart coming to grief on turn number 3. So he's back up on his bike, obviously with a bit of luck, nothing damaged but a bit of pride. Let's hope his machine's okay and he can carry on racing in the remainder of tonight's meeting. So the riders come back up to tapes then for the rerun of heat number 1, as we said, sponsored by Jason Waring. It's just 3 riders only, with the exclusion there of Lee Smart as the cause of the stoppage. Rerun from the tapes, and once again Danyon Hume to the front in this one, followed round tightly there by Rob Shuttleworth, and picking up the important third place, obviously with no contention from anyone else. In the blue helmet is Kelsey Dugard. First time then that we've seen Dan Hume take to a bike down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Looks very comfortable as well out in front of this one, leading Shuttleworth now by 3 or 4 bike lengths, but Shuttleworth now goes up high and wide on turn 4, try and get a bit of extra speed along the home straight. Still can make no impact there on Hume, who goes wide around turns 1 and 2. So for his first visit he is looking ultra smooth, so it is normally the commentator's curse when we say something like that, but he is truly into the last lap now. Still heading Shuttleworth by 3 or 4 bike lengths as he goes down the back straight for the last time and into those top turns. Looks like Hume's going to bag the 4 points then, as he does there, going across the line. 4 points to him for the win in heat number 1. The result of the rerun of heat number 1, sponsored by Jason Waring, was a win there for the rider in yellow, Danyon Hume. 4 points to him. Second place and 3 points to Rob Shuttleworth. 2 points for third place in blue, Kelsey Dugard. So it's 5 points there to Team Coopes, 4 points to Team Covec. Riders coming out then for heat number 2, and that's sponsored by ourselves, speedwayportal.com. So for Team Hyphose, we see Darryl Ritchings in red, Nick Phillips in blue, and for Team Warriors, we see James Cockle in white and Tyler Govier in yellow. So up they roll then to the starting tapes then for the start of heat number 2. Track records down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Premier League is held by Jason Bunyan, 66.3 seconds. That was set on the 15th of April 2008. And the National League track record was by Adam Roynan. That was set at 66.4 on the 24th of July 2012. Start marshal then asks the riders to get themselves up to tapes while the sun is out nicely down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Great little crowd there as well to look at tonight's best pairs meeting, sponsored by our friend Cobra from over there in Florida in the States. Tyler Govier going around the outside at the back of the rider in blue, Nick Phillips, looking like he's going to make his way through the field, but it's James Cockle leading the way from charging Darryl Ritchings in second place. Taking a look back for his team partner then is Cockle there as he goes into the back straight. As we see Govier having a look around the outside, trying to get a drop on Darryl Ritchings. Doesn't make it that time round out of turn 4. He's going to have another look round turn 1 and 2. Drifting out a bit wide there. It's not a lot to hold him up there upright tonight, so riders a little bit tentative as they go into the last lap of heat number 2, sponsored by speedwayportal.com. Cockle's going round in a race all on his own, totally unchallenged in this one, as Ritchings has dropped back somewhat. Govier, unfortunately then for Team Roy, is unable to make an impact, collecting the 4 points and the win for Team Warrior, James Cockle in the white helmet. The result of heat number 2, sponsored by speedwayportal.com, was a win for the rider in white and Team Warriors, James Cockle. He gets himself 4 points there. Second for Team Hyphose in red, Darryl Ritchings, and in third place in yellow for the Warriors, it was Tyler Govier. 3 points then for Team Hyphose, 6 for Team Warriors. So we now move on to heat number 3. This one sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mahal. So lining up for this one, in yellow we see George Piper, his partner is Ben Morley in white, Connor Coles in blue and Matt Saul in red. So Team Wessex Marine against Team Sheplock, and the riders coming up to tapes right now. The start marshal, he's just telling them all to come on, hurry up, let's get this meeting going, let's get this race underway. It's your first race, boys, so no messing about, off we go. Got away then from the start in heat number 3. It's the rider in white, Ben Morley. Ben spent several seasons at Rye House, and he's also spent quite a bit of time as well riding for the Ken Kings, showing his liking for the circuit down here tonight, away from the start. And second place is Connor Coles, and then drifting away at the back in yellow we see George Piper, and way behind him is Matt Saul. Cobra's Garage Mahal, they're the sponsors of the meeting, also sponsoring this heat 3. That's Steve Luxton, who's got his own museum in Florida. Originally Steve was from Exeter, had to go at Speedway, and he made the trip overseas to the USA, and he became an American gladiator, hence the name Cobra. And it's great to have his sponsorship at the Isle of Wight. Meanwhile, back to the racing. way out front at the moment. Now we have a change with Connor Coles. Ben Morley pulling off the circuit. So Morley pulls off and retires as Connor Coles goes over the line to collect the important 4 points. Result of heat number 3, and that is a win for the rider in blue and Wessex Marine, Connor Coles, and 4 points. Second place in yellow was George Piper for Sheplock and 3 points, and third place with 2 points for Wessex Marine is Matt Saul in the red. So that means 6 points then for Wessex Marine and 3 points for Sheplock. And here we take a look at the replay action, bumping over those ruts that have come up on the first turn. Ben Morley, following there is Connor Coles. Anyway, to the standings after round 1. Team Warrior, Cockle and Govier, they combined for 6 points. Team Wessex Marine, Matt Saul, Connor Coles combined for 6. Team Coopes, Rob Shuttleworth, Kelsey Dugard, they've got 5. Team Covec, Lee Smart and Dan Hume have got 4. Team Hyphose, Darryl Ritchings, Nick Phillips, 3. And Team Sheplock, Ben Morley and George Piper, they've also got 3. So that's the score so far then. After the first round of rides, we move on then and we tackle heat number 4 as we see riders coming out to get ready to start heat 4. Heat number 4 then, in memory of Roy Bomber Belcher. Line up for you as follows. Team Hyphose in red, Darryl Ritchings, his partner in blue, Nick Phillips. Team Coopes in white, Rob Shuttleworth, as we saw earlier on, and in yellow is Kelsey Dugard. So Team Coopes, they scored a second and third place last time out. Let's see what they do against the Hyphose boys in this particular race then. Heat number 4. Ritchings well away at the start in this one, out front going down the back straight, followed there by the rider in white, Shuttleworth, in second place. Shuttleworth now goes out wide, has a look round the outside, and he makes it right round the outside, as if basically Ritchings was stood still coming out of that turn 4. Excellent little manoeuvre there from Shuttleworth. Boys at the back struggling a little bit there with the track. Phillips and Dugard well spread out on this one, those two pairings. But Shuttleworth, he's moved well into the front in this one. Quite a nice little lead for himself away from Ritchings. Ritchings keeping it steady, hugging the inside line there round turns 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Shuttleworth still powering away in this one. Looks like he's going to be untouchable now as he goes into the last circuit of heat number 4. Almost a quarter of a lap in front now of the rider at the back in blue, Nick Phillips, as Phillips is now just coasting round. Coming across the line now to take the win, and 4 points in white for Team Coopes is Rob Shuttleworth. Result of heat number 4 then, in memory of Roy Bomber Belcher, was a win for Team Coopes rider in white, Rob Shuttleworth, and 4 points to him. Second place for Team Hyphose was Darryl Ritchings in red with 3 points, and in third place Kelsey Dugard in yellow with 2 points for Team Coopes. As we can see, riders going back up to the pits there. Steep incline as well up to the pits it is from the circuit. Meanwhile, the tractors there now doing some grading, as we can see. Not a bad little crowd for the meeting down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. There's a close in there of the watering as well. And George and Steve Piper together having a natter in between his next race. Riders getting ready as well for the next heats. We move on then with heat number 5, and the sponsor of this one is TB Motorcycles. Unfortunately, Lee Smart, he has had to withdraw from the rest of tonight's meeting after that early fall in heat number 1 this evening, which means 3 riders only then for heat number 5. Sheplock, they ride in with Ben Morley in red. He was looking good before he retired in his first heat. George Piper in blue, and for Covec Bull, one lone rider, that's Danyon Hume. Riders ready then for those tapes to go as they fly up in the air after the buttons pressed there by Christina Turnbull. Coming round bend 2, neck and neck, the rider in yellow, the rider in red. Great little battle there with Ben Morley getting the better of Dan Hume just about as they go into turn 3. Coming out of turn 4 though, it's Morley there with the advantage. So showing his experience at this level as well is Morley. Although Hume there in second place, he's not far behind. He's keeping Morley well in touch at the moment. As dropping back a bit there is Piper at the back in this one. Still going to score those important 2 points though if he just keeps himself going and on the machine for this one. Another lap to go for him as he eases off going around the top turns. As Morley goes into the last lap and a slide there off into the fence. Meanwhile, going round then to inherit first place back after making that jump early on is Danyon Hume. Goes around turn 4 then for the last time across the checkered flag, and 4 big points for him. And we got 2 finishers only there with George Piper grabbing second place. And we go and have another look then at the fall there for Ben Morley going into the fence at the start there of the last lap. Result of heat number 5, and that was a win for the Covec Bull rider in yellow, Danyon Hume, and 4 points to him. Second place for Sheplock was George Piper with 3 points. Just 2 finishers only there with Ben Morley falling on the last lap. My First Skid, sponsors of heat number 6. We move on through the meeting. Team Warrior in red, James Cockle. His partner in blue, Tyler Govier. Wessex Marine is Matt Saul in white, and his partner in yellow, Connor Coles. As the start marshal walks away, the types rise for this one, and it's the rider in red that gets the initial jump, but cutting through along the inside there is Cockle. So Saul was quick out the gate, but it was Cockle that beat him around those first 2 turns. And coming inside Saul, having a look inside Saul, it's the rider in yellow there, Coles. But Saul was holding on, but Coles makes it just along the home straight there. Moves into second place. Now Souls looks like he's a bit of a traffic jam on this one. As we see Tyler Govier as well now taking a look to get on terms with Saul. But Govier goes down there going into turn 3. Has a little tumble. Red lights come on, so we're going to have another rerun then, heat number 5. And we go and have another look then on the replay there and see how Tyler Govier went down into turn number 3. Taking a nasty tumble there, we see Tyler Govier. So he's going to have a few bruises, no doubt, tomorrow morning when he gets up out of his bed. But the result then of heat number 6, the heat has been awarded due to the fall there by Tyler Govier. The race win goes to James Cockle in the red helmet colour and first place and 4 points. Second in yellow, Connor Coles with 3 points. Third in white, Matt Saul, 2 points. So Team Warriors now move on to 10. Team Wessex Marine, they move on to 11 points. As we see then, riders and mechanics having a look at bikes, and Tyler there walking back, giving a little wave, so yeah, I'm okay, just a little bit battered after that one. So we'll have a look at the standings so far after 2 rounds, and it's now Wessex Marine, Matt Saul and Coles, they're on to 11. Team Coopes, Shuttleworth and Dugard, they're on to 11. Team Warrior, Cockle and Govier, they're on to 10. Team Covec, Smart and Hume, they're on to 8, and Team Hyphose, Ritchings and Phillips on to 6, and also on 6 is Team Sheplock, Morley and Piper. So that's how it's running so far after everybody's had a couple of rides. Moving onwards we go then to the next heat, heat number 7, and this one is in memory of the late E. Shepherd. And the lineup for heat number 7, in white is Darryl Ritchings, his partner in yellow is Nick Phillips. In blue we got George Piper, and his team partner is a non-starter, even due to riding red helmet colour, Ben Morley. So Team Sheplock, they're on 6, as are Hyphose also on 6. So riders up at the start gate, there they are, getting ready for the off. So in memory of the late E. Shepherd, we move on then to heat 7. And we see the rider in white there, Darryl Ritchings, making a jump. And leading all the way with George Piper in blue in second place. At the back is Nick Phillips. And Ben Morley in red, he's a non-starter in this one. So we presume he might not be taking part in the rest of the meeting, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. Meanwhile, it's Ritchings flying out front in this one, well away as he goes rounds 3 and 4. Piper there, though, in second place. Looking a little bit faster in this race is Piper, although he's shutting off a little bit early going as he comes into the turns. But after 9 years out of the sport, he's taken a bit of time to get used to the machinery again these days. So as he takes a tumble there, sliding off on turn number 4. Not too happy about that one as he throws his hands down at the ground. Red flags are out as the riders were into the last lap, with Ritchings there in front of Phillips. So we're going to have another look at the replay then of George Piper taking a slide off there on turn 4. The result, heat number 7, which was held in memory of late E. Shepherd. The race being awarded, the win going to the rider in white for Hyphose, Darryl Ritchings, 4 points for him. And his team partner in yellow grabs second place and 3 points. Just the 2 finishers, with George Piper being disqualified there as the cause of the stoppage.
Hi mate, how you doing? Bit disappointed in that last one, just run out of strength really. Had like 3 on the bounce. Yeah, I'm happy, I'm pleased with the way it's gone. Setup's good, so we're going to stick with the same, so yeah, I'm happy. Cheers guys.
So a couple of words there from the man himself, George Piper. Meanwhile, we're moving on to the next heat, and that's heat number 8, sponsored by our friends from Haha Training. The lineups as follows. In white we see James Cockle, his partner in yellow Tyler Govier, in blue is Kelsey Dugard, and his partner in red is Rob Shuttleworth. We move on then, heat number 8, Haha Training. Team Coopes against the Warriors, and getting a jump there. It's the Warriors man in white, James Cockle, followed by Coopes rider in red, Rob Shuttleworth. Third place is Govier, good to see him back on his machine, and at the back is Dugard. Having a look round the outside, we see Shuttleworth went right round the outside of Cockle there, coming out of turn 4. Great overtaking manoeuvre once again, the best overtaking place down here, as well at the Andrew Uni Stadium. So we see the Warriors pairing in there, settling by the looks of things for the minor positions, which that will give them 5 points then if it stays as it is. Although we look at Govier now, he looks like he's pulling over as Dugard cuts up the inside. Govier's going very slow, so he's going to be retiring out of heat number 8. Meanwhile, out front, Rob Shuttleworth there running away with this one in the red helmet colour, extending his lead more and more with each passing second as he goes round the back straight then for the last time on heat number 8. And he comes down now to go across that line, and 4 big points then to Shuttleworth in the red helmet for Team Coopes. Result then of heat number 8, sponsored by Haha Training. That was a win in red for Rob Shuttleworth for Team Coopes with 4 points. Second place for the Warriors, rider in white James Cockle and 3 points. And third place Kelsey Dugard for Team Coopes and 2 points.
Hi everybody, Cobra here. Just wanted to say hi. I know it's going to be an excited night, not especially for the fans and the riders, but more so for me, being the first time I've ever sponsored a meeting and having the Cobra's Garage Mahal name put on such an event. Really looking forward to seeing the videos later and maybe getting word from Connor Coles that the Wessex Marine team have brought home the gold, but we shall see. Anyway, just wanted to say hi to all the warriors and wish everybody luck tonight. Have a great meeting. I'm sure the sun is shining. It is here, but that's nothing new. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. Have a great night of racing, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Steve Luxton, he's the owner of Cobra's Garage Mahal. We have Danyon Hume in blue then for Team Covec Bull, and Wessex Marine we have Saul in white and Connor Coles in yellow. No rider in red, Lee Smart, he's withdrawn from the meeting. As we look at those riders over there, we've got 3 riders only. So off goes the Star Marshal once again for the start there, and getting the jump straight away is Danyon Hume. He locks it down over Connor Coles around the first 2 turns. And Danny goes down the back straight. So quite a nice looking little replacement this then, coming in to replace Georgie Wood for the evening. Georgie unavailable. Quite stylish riding here from Danyon Hume going around the circuit down here at Smallbrook, looking very nice and smooth as he does so. Fastest times down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium are 69.5, and that time is shared by James Shanes. Did that in Heat 4 on the 7th of June earlier on this season, and Joe Jacobs on the very same day in Heat number 15. So time's slightly slower, just a couple of seconds adrift of that. Nonetheless, so the entertainment's still just as good. As we're on the last lap now with Hume there going down the home straight, taking a checkered flag and a win and another 4 points. So we take a quick look here at the replay. Danyon Hume looking pretty good, still bouncing over those ruts around the first turn. Here we go again. Look how far that wheel's jumping in the air and how he stays in control of that bike. Result for you of heat number 9, that's a win for Team Covec Bull, rider in blue, Danyon Hume, and 4 points to him. Second place in yellow for Wessex Marines was Connor Coles and 3 points, and his partner was Saul in white, getting third place and 2 points. We have a look at the standings then after round number 3. Team Coopes, they move on to 17. That's Rob Shuttleworth, Kelsey Dugard. Team Wessex Marine on 16, Saul and Coles. Team Warriors, that's Cockle and Govier, they're on 13, as are Team Hyphose, Ritchings and Phillips. Team Covec on 12, Smart and Hume. And at the back, Team Sheplock, Morley and Piper. So that's how it goes at the moment. The standings after 3 rounds down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. It's the local bobbers there, just giving us a little wave as they've just popped in, just to see what Speedway's all about down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. I reckon they've been in for a sneaky cuppa miss out. Oh, look at this. Look, trying one of the beanies on as well. Excellent stuff. Let's hope he doesn't steal it. So we move swiftly on with the meeting today, sponsored, as we said, by Cobra's Garage Mahal. Heat number 10 is in memory of Shazzy Bird. Riders lining up as follows. Ben Morley, he's a non-starter. Should have been in the white helmet colour. His partner in yellow, George Piper. In blue, Tyler Govier. And his partner in red, James Cockle. So you can see the riders there coming up to the start gates. Just 3 riders only then in this heat. Heat number 10. Just about to get underway. Here we go. So moving on, heat number 10. In memory of Shazzy Bird, it's just the 3 riders in this one. flying around the outside. Govier looking like a different rider in this race. Backed up there in second place by his partner James Cockle. At the back is George Piper, non-starter Ben Morley, so it doesn't look like we're going to see him then for the rest of the evening. Meanwhile though, Govier a little slip there around turn 2, corrects himself, still out front, very comfortable in this one. Cockle looks like he's settling for second place, and fair old way back in yellow helmet there is George Piper. Good to see Piper back out on the bike and getting some time on the track under his belt after about 9 years away from the sport. Obviously rode for Oxford and of course Weymouth Wildcats. Great to see him having another stab at the sport. So into the last lap it is now, with Govier commanding lead he's got in this one. Cockle slowed right down, he's having a look round him to see what's going on. As we have the race winner there in blue, Tyler Govier, going over and collecting that checkered flag and the race win. Excellent stuff indeed. James Cockle there waving his arm, trying to G up George Piper, I think trying to overtake him to give him some extra points, but Cockle had worked himself right back and couldn't drop back quite enough in time. So your result of heat number 10 on memory of Shazzy Bird was a race win there for the Warriors. A rider in blue, Tyler Govier, 4 points for him. Backed up there by his teammate in red, James Cockle, and 3 points, even though he shut off for about half a lap there. And in third place, picking up 2 points, and for Team Sheplock, George Piper. Swiftly moving on, heat number 11, sponsored by our friends from Sharp. Wessex Marine we see in red, Matt Saul, his partner in blue, Connor Coles for Team Coopes. The impressive Rob Shuttleworth in white, with in yellow, Kelsey Dugard. As those tapes fly up in the air, once again, Saul is getting quick out of the trap in this one. Taking a look though, he's leading this race, believe it or not, heat number 11 into turns 3 and 4, but going out wide in white is Rob Shuttleworth, and he goes around just as if he's stood still. So Rob Shuttleworth once again into the lead then, heat number 11. Riders spacing out then for the rest of the points. So we see Shuttleworth still at the front. And just going around the outside is Coles. He goes around the outside of Saul, going out of turn 4 down into the home straight. So Coles looking like he's on a mission in this race. Saul slipping backwards further and further. Will Dugard be able to get on terms and relegate him to last place? We'll have to wait and see with this one. So a couple of laps to go. No, 1 lap to go, beg your pardon. Into the last lap then. Shuttleworth way out front, untroubled. Still Coles in second place. We got Dugard now gaining all the time. Now going up the inside of Saul into turn 3, and Saul goes down into the fence there in turn 4. But your race winner taking the checkered flag and another 4 points in white is Rob Shuttleworth. Taking a look at the replay here, we see the back end just take a little trip out towards the fence, leaving Matt no option there but to lay down on the shale and just touch the fence. So let's hope he's alright and back up for his next race. Result of heat number 11, sponsored by our friends from Sharp, was a race win in white, and Team Coopes for Rob Shuttleworth and 4 points. Second place for the Wessex Marine rider in blue, Connor Coles, and 3 points. And the third place for Team Coopes, rider in yellow, Kelsey Dugard, and 2 points. Heat number 12, we have Meon Accountancy Services Limited sponsoring this heat for us. No rider in red, least mod a non-starter, but for Team Covec, Danyon Hume just out on his own in blue as he makes the gate there, pulling away from the Hyphose pairing of Darryl Ritchings in white, Nick Phillips in yellow. So Hume, he's definitely been value for money so far this evening. 3 rides, 3 wins. This is his 4th ride. Will it be his 4th win? It's looking very much on the cards as we watch him go around turn 1 and 2 on lap 2 of heat number 12. We got the semi-finals coming up, 2 semi-finals, sponsored by Jack Cleland from his dad Stu and Cloud 2 Entertainments. Before we have the grand final, sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mahal. So if it had a partner racing with him all the way through the meeting, I'm sure that the pairing of Smart and Hume would have been in contention for some rostrum places tonight. Especially with the way Hume is going now, going around the top turns end for the last time in heat number 12. And there he goes, getting a checkered flag and another race win and 4 points. Result for you of heat number 12, as we said, sponsored by Meon Accountancy Services Limited, was a win for the Covec Bull rider in blue, Danyon Hume, and 4 points for him. Second place for Hyphose rider in white, Darryl Ritchings, and 3 points. And Nick Phillips in yellow with 2 points. So there we see celebrating with a wheelie. Great stuff there from Darryl Ritchings. Moving on then to the standings after 4 of their 5 rides. So round 4, Team Coopes on 23 points, Shuttleworth and Dugard. Team Warriors, Cockle and Govier on to 20. Team Wessex Marine, Matt Saul and Connor Coles on to 19. Team Hyphose, Ritchings and Phillips, they move on to 18. Team Covec, Smart and Hume on to 16. And at the rear, Morley and Piper as Team Sheplock on 8 points. We move on then to the next heat, the next round of races. 3 more races before we have the semi-finals, and followed by the finals. So first of all, we look at the riders then for heat number 13, sponsored by Alan Critcher. Those riders are in yellow, George Piper, no partner for him; in white and in red, Rob Shuttleworth, and also no partner for him. So it's just 2 riders only. Bit of a match race going on then for this one. So heat number 13, one of those unlucky races. It's sponsored by Alan Critcher. We've only got 2 riders. It's match race time between Rob Shuttleworth in red for Team Coopes and George Piper in yellow from Sheplock. So Kelsey Dugard blue and Ben Morley white, both non-starters in this heat. So Shuttleworth absolutely flying in around from the start, untouchable probably in this heat. Piper just getting that track time, coming back from a long layoff, about 9 years out of the sport, as we said earlier on. Hopefully he can regain some of his composure and get back on racing speed with some of the big boys in the league, you know, in the next few months, and get himself all set up, ready for the start of next season to make a big push. Don't forget as well, you can keep up to date with the Warriors on their official website, the 3 Ws, www.wightwarriors.co. Also follow on Twitter at Island Speedway. And you can also keep up to date with Speedway Portal at speedwayportal.com and on Twitter at Speedway Portal. As we see taking the checkered flag and the win there in red for Team Coopes, Rob Shuttleworth. And just now pottering around to get that second place and another 3 points, George Piper for Sheplock. So the official result is a win in red for Team Coopes rider Rob Shuttleworth, 4 points for him, and in second place in yellow, George Piper gets 3 points for Sheplock. Just the 2 riders in the race, 2 finishers only.
So the seconds are counting down there for James Cockle to change the helmet colour. Here he comes.
So swiftly moving on, heat number 14, sponsored by Hyphose, and for Covec Bull in red, there is a non-start, at least obviously not taking his place. The only rider then for that team in blue is Danyon Hume, unbeaten so far this evening. For the Warriors in white, James Cockle, his partner in yellow, Tyler Govier. And it's Hume again that gets the trap and the advantage. Going around the first two turns. Cockle having a look around the outside though of turn 2. And he makes it stick. So the first rider to overtake Hume tonight from the back. So let's see if Hume has a response for this one. He's been unbeaten so far, as we've said earlier on. Some great rides from the lad that we've not seen down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Cockle, though, he's looking nice and comfortable there out front. Meanwhile, Tyler Govier is back there in third place. Can Hume get on terms with Cockle? So we've just got heat number 15 to go, then we're into the first of the two semi-finals before we get to the grand final to see who wins Cobra's Garage Mahal best pairs down here tonight. Coming around then for that checkered flag, Hume is getting closer and closer. He goes around the outside of Cockle. Cockle, oh crikey, he slows right down, but Hume goes through to get that win. Cockle then grabs second place with his team partner there. Govier back in third.
Taking a look then at the replay, Cockle and Hume together, then heat 14, going around the bends there of turn 2. Nice and close together they are as well, around the back straight. Although out of turn number 4, Hume just gets the grip. There he goes, right past Cockle. Cockle can do nothing.
The result then of heat number 14 is a win for Covec Bull rider in blue, Danyon Hume, and 4 points for him. Second place for the Warriors in white, James Cockle, and 3 points. Third place in yellow, Tyler Govier, and 2 points.
The semi and the final. Two semi-finals and the finals after this set. This will be the thing in the meantime. Spoke to Ryde, SBS boss. And a full lineup on the start grid for this one, which is good to see.
So it's the last of the qualifying heats. Heat number 15, sponsored by SBS EPOS. For Hyphose in red, Darryl Ritchings in blue, Nick Phillips, Wessex Marine in white. We've got Matt Saul and his partner Connor Coles. And it is Coles that goes to the front in this one, followed by Ritchings. So let's see what Ritchings has to fight back with against Coles in this one. Both those two pulling away from Phillips and Saul. Saul, after making the gates earlier on in the evening, now finds himself well and truly at the back in this one. Phillips settling there by the looks of things for third place. Meanwhile, still powering away out front is Connor Coles, looking good there. Darryl Ritchings hasn't got much there in response though to Coles, who's battling away, going up high around those top 2 turns. Into the last lap we go. Then we're into semi-final time right after this. Little slip there from Coles on the second turn, recovers it well, stays in the lead. Around those top turns then for the last time, and across taking that checkered flag and another 4 points. Result of heat number 15 is a win for the Wessex Marine rider in yellow, Connor Coles, and 4 points. For Hyphose in second place, it's the rider in red, Darryl Ritchings, with 3 points, and in third place in blue, Nick Phillips, and 2 points for him.
There we see then getting his lap of honour in the yellow helmet colour, Connor Coles. We move though to the standings after 5 rides, so it's all important times now. Team Coopes, Shuttleworth and Dugard, they're on 27. Team Warrior, Cockle and Govier on 25. Wessex Marine, Saul and Coles on 23, as are Team Hyphose, Ritchings and Phillips. Team Covec on 20, Smart and Hume, with Team Sheplock, Morley and Piper at the rear on 11 points. So we see our mascot there, Cameron Bell, 7 years old, coming down out of the pits to start a circuit or two. Meanwhile, while he's doing that one, we take a look at the semi-finals. We're going to have Wessex Marine, they're going to be taking on Team Coopes, and Hyphose are going to be taking on a Team Warrior. So there to come for you, the semi-finals coming up shortly.
Open, track shops open, and sweet stalls open, not more kitchen one. We'll be back some more speedway. We got the 2 semis and the grand final. Stick around in the meantime, back out on track. Please welcome young Cameron Bell, just 7 years old. One of the Ryde White mascots here. Warriors mascot.
Taking a look down there on circuit, one of the mascots down here at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Going over a little bump there as well. He's having a little slide around as well when he can. Cameron Bell, would you believe, 7 years old, that's all he is. And he's on apparently a PW80.
Trying to slide it. Trying as best to slide it was. Going over a little bump there as well. He's having a little slide around as well.
Semi-final one. This one's sponsored by Jack Cleland from his dad Stu, and we got Wessex Marine taking on Team Coopes. Matt Saul then rides in red from gate 1, Connor Coles in blue from 3, Kelsey Dugard in white from gate 2, and his partner Rob Shuttleworth in yellow from gate number 4. So here we go then, semi-final number 1 it is. Who is going to get through as the first pair into tonight's final? Slide and Ride, best pairs, sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mahal. Start Marshall then pulling the riders up to tapes as the sun is starting to go down at the Andrew Uni Stadium. Making the jump though, the rider in blue, Connor Coles. Rob Shuttleworth having a look up the inside, down the back straight. Will he make it in turn 3? Yes, he does. He nips inside of Coles. Lovely little manoeuvre there. Coles has nothing to come back with him though on turn number 4. Will he be able to make slip there, hit a rut or something in turn number 1, recovered, thankfully no one close by him, so he carries on in second place, meanwhile, which gives Shuttleworth a chance to pull well clear in the first of the 2 semi-finals. So taking a look back, in third place is Kelsey Dugard. If things stay this way, it will be Shuttleworth and Dugard going through into the final as the first winning pair of the semi-finals, as we see Shuttleworth now coming into the last lap number 4. Cole's still trying his heart out down there, down the back straight, but obviously he's way behind in this one. Across the line then, and that checkered flag for Shuttleworth. And Coles has to settle for second place with Dugard in third in white. So the result of the first semi-final is Rob Shuttleworth takes the win in yellow for Team Coopes and 4 points. Second place in blue for Wessex Marine, Connor Coles taking 3 points. And Team Coopes rider in white, Kelsey Dugard, gets the all-important third place and 2 points, which sees Team Coopes go into the final.
Semi-final even. Eliza for the riders, Mahal
Semi-final 2 sponsored by Cloud 2 Entertainments. Darryl Ritchings, Nick Phillips in red and blue respectively for Hyphose, and for the Warriors James Cockle and Tyler Govier in white and yellow. And it's Govier who goes around the outside of his team partner in white, Cockle. So Team Warrior, they are looking like they're going to get to the final with a maximum heat win here in semi-final number 2. Nick Phillips then back in 3rd place. Darryl Ritchings struggling at the back in this one, looking down at his machine going in along the back straight there. Looks like he's got a bit of a mechanical issue going on. He's been much faster than this in previous heats down here this evening. Meanwhile, out front, Govier absolutely untroubled. Cockle settled for that 2nd place, coasting around as we see now, just about to pull up, I think, going very slow in red. Darryl Ritchings, he's out of the heat in this one. As we see into the last lap, Tyler Govier from his partner James Cockle, which will take these through to the final to take on Rob Shuttleworth and Kelsey Dugard. So checkered flag and another 4 points then to that rider in yellow, Tyler Govier. Result of semi-final number 2, and that's a win in yellow for Tyler Govier, 4 points. Second is partner in white, James Cockle, and 3 points. And third for Nick Phillips in blue, 2 points. So we see now Cockle and Govier make their way through for Team Warrior into the final to take on Team Coopes, Kelsey Dugard and Rob Shuttleworth.
Taking a look at the standings now after the semi-finals, we're going to start at the bottom. Team Sheplock, Morley and Piper, they finished on 11. Team Covec, Lee Smart, Danyon Hume, they finished on 20. Finishing on 25 was Team Hyphose, Darryl Ritchings and Nick Phillips, and finishing on 26 was Team Wessex Marine, Matt Saul and Connor Coles. So into the final we have Team Warriors, James Cockle and Tyler Govier on 32 points, and Team Coopes, Rob Shuttleworth, Kelsey Dugard on 33. And now we see George Piper on his bike having a photo taken as well with Mascot Wilbur. Is he going to go around and do a few circuits? We'll have to wait and see. Some of the kids are having a good look on there. There he goes.
So this is very novel. You don't very often see a passenger on a speedway bike, but there we have George Piper down there at the moment, and he's got Mascot Wilbur sat on the back there, so giving himself a little bit of extra weight, so hopefully he'll slide over the 1 or 2 ruts that have appeared through tonight's meeting down here at Smallbrook. Obviously not going to set a track record though, the way he's going at the moment, but giving the Wilbur the thrill of his life. In fact, it looks like Wilbur's enjoyed it so much, looks like he's coming back for seconds.
There's something you don't see every day. There's Wilbur the Warrior.
So he's even trying to get a bit of a skid on there with Wilbur, and Wilbur's got his foot down on the track there as well, so I hope his paws aren't hurt too much. So we heard Centre Green presenter out there, Chris Popple, willing George on to do a wheelie, but somehow George is only good at doing wheelies when he's actually heading for the fence. Riders on circuit then for the final. We've had the 15 heats, we've had the 2 semi-finals of the Slide and Ride Best Pairs, sponsored by Cobra's Garage Mahal. Team Warrior against Team Coopes. For Team Warrior in red is James Cockle and Tyler Govier. Cockle in red, Govier in blue. Team Coopes, Kelsey Dugard and Rob Shuttleworth. Dugard in white, Shuttleworth in yellow. So Cockle, he's going from gate 1, Govier gate 3. Dugard 2 and Shuttleworth 4. Off they go then for this final race of the evening, and it is Shuttleworth to the front. He's been impressive tonight, looking good out there in front, but it's the pairing for the Warriors tucking in there for second and third place. And we've got Govier and Cockle combining for that one. If it stays this way, they will win this best pairs meeting. That's all they've got to do is stay there. So the pressure is now on Dugard. Dugard at the back. He needs to get by his regular teammate, James Cockle. Will he be able to get on terms with him? Looking a bit unlikely at the moment, the way things are. Cockle's going out wide and looking to overtake his partner for the evening as he does so, going down the home straight. Govier, but Govier hits back and trying to ride as a pair, getting a little bit in each other's way there, but still way out front. In this one is Shuttleworth. He's slowing down to try and get the help of his partner, but Shuttleworth, he's now into the last lap. He can't go much slower in this, otherwise he'll be deemed to have brakes on. Trying to slow the pace of the race down as Dugard now comes around, has a look around the outside of Cockle, and he grabs round the outside of Cockle and also Govier on the last turn. How about that? Excellent race there then for the final, very fitting final race as Shuttleworth grabs first place. Dugard comes round and he grabs second place. Meanwhile, you've got Govier, we believe Govier in third.
Taking a look at the replay here, so we see Shuttleworth slowing everything down to allow his teammate there, Dugard for Team Coopes, to go straight past the pairing for the Team Warriors of James Cockle and Tyler Govier to grab that all-important second place. First of all past Cockle, then he's eyeing up Govier looks the wrong side, and there he goes.
The result of the final then of this Cobra's Garage Mahal sponsored Slide and Ride Best Pairs meeting. The win went to Rob Shuttleworth in yellow. His partner in Kelsey Dugard in white grabs second place after a superb last bend charge. Third place Tyler Govier in blue, and at the back James Cockle. So the winning team, Team Coopes, they take the trophy, first place tonight.
Taking a look at the results then, Team Coopes, they're the winners, the team sponsors Brian and Angie Cooper. Getting 40 points for them was Rob Shuttleworth, Kelsey Dugard for first place. Second place Team Warriors, James Cockle, Tyler Govier on 34. Third place Team Wessex Marine, Matt Saul, Connor Coles on 26. Fourth place Team Hyphose, Darryl Ritchings, Nick Phillips on 25. Fifth place Team Covec, Lee Smart and Dan Hume on 20, and sixth Team Sheplock, Ben Morley, George Piper, and they were on 11 points. So that's all there is. That's the final results of the Cobra's Garage Mahal Slide and Ride Best Pairs.
Doesn't look the best, he doesn't look a good colour to you there, so that's no...
Never looks that good.
It never looks that good. What's that mean to you, buddy? Good one, player.
Yeah, that was a great ride. I mean, Rob slowed him right down. He told me to go around outside. I went for the last bend, we did it, and I can't thank Rob enough, and I couldn't have got a better team, man.
It was an excellent score. So, Ronnie was your fault, was it, mate? You had us all already in the seats there, Ronnie. Wicked ride, was brilliant. What did that mean to you getting out tonight?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's just down with one, I think, but it's just down with sport, Kelsey tonight, like, it's just down with, I think I've only ever raced against anyone, so just get on so well, and the ways we were in that last one, considering how well the weather is here, just go right around the outside of the area, and fantastic, so down with really good money.
Well, you also, it's up to right, it's a team effort, you know, you're doing it as a team. Try to go to bed now, yeah, get the games off first, that's you all want to have that dirty sheet. So, the other one we've not spoken to the team is Angie. She's got commercial manager here. Otherwise, Angie, what's that mean to you? The boys being good. Ryan is happy as a 50 euro. What has it feel for yourself?
No, it's fantastic. I mean, I did the sponsorship last week. We stopped smoking a year ago, and we saved quite a lot of money. So I just thought, do you know what? Thank you, Mr. Coopes, for introducing me to this fantastic sport, and that's why I did it. You know, it's for him. And these two just rode the socks off. It's brilliant.
Lady, there you go, that's the message driving. If you're slowly, you just want to Speedway, keep your eyes on track. Should we present some trophies then? Should we do that? Right, we're going to go to Martin Woodman, out for road tonight, Martin.
Hi everyone, that's certainly not the result I was expecting there. I thought James and Tyler had got it, but superb team riding. It's something that you don't see in Speedway a lot, but well done to the guys. Just like Barry's obviously not around, he's in Bangkok. He might well be watching what's going on from the CCTV we've got here, but it'll be about 3 o'clock in the morning. If he is, you've seen a good meeting, Barry. If not, you've missed one. A cracking meeting. Thanks to all the team sponsors, the semi-final sponsors, and the final sponsors, and more importantly, we've got a Rider of the Night sponsor, Kozloda, and his daughter Yasmin. They are one of our sponsors. They've purchased an air fence for us, and tonight they've got a tyre and a check, and it's just great to have them across, and I'm sure they've enjoyed the meeting tonight. Do you want to say anything?
No, just great riding tonight. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic evening. Thank you very much for the invitation from Barry and Martin. It's been a long time since I was here, but it's always nice to come back over and see some old faces. All I can say is there's some great riding tonight, and of course I have to pick someone who's a winner, and I noticed him in Heat 4. He went from 3rd to 1st and rode really well all evening, and I'm going to give the prize tonight to Rob Shuttleworth.
It's a generous first prize as well, or a prize. There's a trophy, a tyre, and a cheque for £50. So well done, thank you, Cos. Well done, Rob. Good riding.
Please make loads of noise. And we're going to get presented by Neil Vasher, none other than. Okay, make loads of noise for Team Coopes!
Good job, mate. I'm right. Deserve that, boys. Well done. Yes, since you sleep, mate.
There we see the victorious pair then teaming up together. Kelsey Dugard, Rob Shuttleworth. And we're going to pop up to the Premier Lounge now to have a word with the sponsors up there this evening. In the Premier Lounge after the Best Pairs meeting, we've got one of the sponsors, sponsored the Rider of the Night, Ian Loader from APT Bournemouth. Ian, what got you into sponsoring down here at the Isle of Wight?
Very simple. I've been involved with Speedway many years, going back with George Piper and of course Brendan Johnson when they were kids, and riding over at Weymouth. And it was a natural progression when Brendan, I've been looking after him for a few years anyway, and George has now come back into Speedway, so we're back on board with them, and got involved with Barry, and we put one of the air fences up along with the sponsorship with other members on the sponsorship team, so we're just happy to be over here.
And you've been involved in Speedway for many years, sponsoring several riders.
Yeah, many top riders as well from Poland, and from the likes of the pool riders, some of them, and we've done some big meetings over the years, and been pleased to be involved with it.
And what do you actually do with your business? What is it?
Well, we got a garage. APT stands for Anglo-Polish Transport, which I'm actually half Polish, so that's continuing with the Anglo-Polish side of it. As you know, Tim, we go back many years again from business before, and I always like to try and incorporate the Anglo-Polish part of it. And we've got a garage which we sell second-hand cars.
Okay, excellent. And your first visit down here, what did you think of the meeting?
Well, it's my first visit for many years, and got to say it's great to come back. I love the track and I love bends 3 and 4. Great for riders that want to go out there and have a go. And it's a nice family atmosphere, very similar to the old days back in the Weymouth days, which is no longer now, but even the Exeter days, I remember them nights as well. But It's a nice place to be, and I'm sure, on a normal meeting when there's plenty of other away riders and families down here, I'm sure it'll be a great evening.
Will you be popping back over again in the summer?
I will indeed. I don't know when, but hopefully very soon. It all depends on Barry. We can get a night out one night, we'll come over.
Okay, and well, we thank you very much indeed for all your sponsorship and your help down here at Island Speedway.
That's no problem, and it's always a pleasure to be involved with local riders, which is, as I said, Brendan and George, and hopefully we continue in the years to come.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. We got Brendan Johnson with us. Brendan, you had a bit of bad news earlier on today, unable to have a practice after the meeting. Tell us a little about your injury.
Yeah, obviously I was booked in to have a skid after the meeting again. Now the arm's got the all clear from the consultant, but unfortunately my physio that I was booked in to see today at 3 o'clock unfortunately said that my shoulder and my elbow hasn't got enough strength and power in it to be able to hold onto a bike. So we've done a few strength exercises and none of it worked, and so I had to take the decision not to ride.
That's a bit of a shame. Any idea how long it's going to be?
Give me another couple of weeks, I reckon. Just build up the strength in the arms and just really get back my all-round fitness, and hopefully the physio will give me the green light to go, as well as my consultant, and away we go. But this track tonight as well was a little bit too bumpy for me to come back to for my first ride back, and hopefully that gets sorted and I can come back on a smooth track and test the arm out.
Apart from your arm, what they're saying at the physio and everything, how do you feel in yourself?
I feel a lot more positive about everything now. If you'd asked me a few weeks ago, I would have been a bit down and said probably the season's out, but hopefully I can keep the arm going and progressing as quick as I have done from the start. I didn't expect to get the green light from the consultant already, so to have that's a big tick, and if I can get another tick from my physio, then it's all green light to go back racing.
So just a frustration period?
Yeah, massively. I'm just sat at home still just wishing I was on my bike, so every day in the gym and every day at the physio counts.
Is it giving you time to try and find some more sponsorship?
Yeah, I should really, but I've got to say thanks to APT Bournemouth. They've been fantastic, and he's been a long supporter of mine over the years, and just to have him back on board this year, although I haven't been racing because of the injury, he's still a good family friend as well now from over the years, and it's good to have him on board.
All right, Brendan, thank you very much for your time. Let's hope we see you back out there very shortly, having a spin after the meeting.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
We've got the winning team with us tonight in the Premier Lounge, Team Coopes, and one half of the winning team as well, Rob Shuttleworth. Have you ridden down here before?
Yeah, I rode here 8 weeks ago maybe. That was my first time here, so yeah, I've ridden here once. So
What do you think of the track down here?
It's good. It's probably my sort of tracks. It gets a bit rough, slows everybody else down a bit. I seem to go quicker when it's a bit rougher, so I don't really like say you get a really smooth fast track where everyone can go flat out. That doesn't really suit me so much. It's more of a even playing field. When it gets a bit rougher, it slows everyone else down.
Okay, what else have you done in your career?
Motocross, really, till I was about 18, 19, doing motocross, so yeah, just that really.
And what made you take the switch?
Just got fed up with motocross, really. Just a bit of a change as much as anything. I'd done it all my life. I was just ploughing money into it all the time. I thought, well, I might try something new, you know what I mean? You never... Yeah, it costs an absolute fortune to do, and you never get anything back from it at all. Whereas Speedway, you get a bit of help, you know what I mean? It's a hobby that pays for itself if you're doing well, so it's good.
How do you cope with trying to find sponsors and the travelling involved as well?
Yeah, it's just all usually all my friends that sponsor me, to be honest. Get most of my sponsors from the pub, but I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I've got some really good sponsors, and they're mostly the friends, you know what I mean, friends of family, and so it keeps me going, you know what I mean. It makes the expenditure not as steep, you know what I mean. It makes it viable to do it at the end of the day, do it at a competitive level. So.
Great, you rode really well out there tonight, and I'm sure your sponsors, Team Coopes, I'm sure even with his dodgy tyre, I'm sure that you were quite pleased with that performance.
Very pleased, yeah. I thought Rob rode supremely well. I actually said halfway through the meeting he was the best rider on the night, and he proved that. He got the Rider of the Night award, thoroughly well deserved. His last bend slowdown in heat in the final completely screwed Tyler up. Tyler didn't know where to go. Kelsey cottoned on to what was going on and did the big swoop round the outside. I thought if he could get one, that'd be great, and he got them both. And you could see James on the inside. Where did he come from? But no, it was great result for the pair of them. Rob's an honorary member of Team Coopes from now on, as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, when we were commentating on this, it was like quite an amazing little thing to watch. I saw you slowing down, and I thought, will Kelsey cotton onto it? And he did. Are you going to be keeping that trophy to polish it, or are you passing that on?
I don't know.
I won't be polishing it. She'll be polishing it, not me.
Okay, then. Anyway, Team Coopes, thank you very much for your sponsorship tonight. And Rob, well done. Many congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Okay, we've got Nick Phillips, one of our reserves up here in the Premier Lounge. Nick, you've just come into the team partway through the season. What brought you into the sport, and what brought you to the Isle of Wight?
Well, I obviously did motocross most of my life, so me and Dad sort of went and watched Speedway around Somerset, where it's a local track, and well, we watched it and we thought, what a sport this is, so I'll have a go at it. Got bored of motocross, so we just had a try at Speedway. Sold my bikes, got a couple Speedway bikes, and just went from there really. So went to a few training days, and once I put my leg over the bike, it was hooked then straight away.
How much of a difference is it for you to like swap from the motocross to the Speedway and learn a different disciple?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I mean, you do things completely opposite. I suppose the only thing you've got going from motocross to Speedway is the speed, but Speedway's a massive difference. I mean, but throttle control is big. Like the only sort of similarities I would say, but yeah, balance is another thing, but it's a big difference. That's what I'm gonna say.
How are you finding the going so far?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Certain tracks I'm good at, certain tracks I'm not, but it's just a learning curve for me at the moment. I just need to get as much practice under me. I've had a few injuries this year, so it's not helped out, but yeah, I should be fine once I've had a few more track time.
And what's your aim for the end of the season?
Just really to up my average, really. I'm not going to say what I want or what not, but I just want to get a steady season and make sure my average is three or more, really.
Okay, well, we wish you all the best, and thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.